Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope this works this time. 06/24, October 19th. Shoot from the hip again today. Start off with trauma. Got another analogy for that. You can hold two blades of grass in your hand and compare them to death. One's greener, one's longer, one's fatter, one's shorter. But at the end of the day, there's still two blades of grass. Trauma is based off of perception, I believe, and two people can go through the same traumatic event and experience it different. Their perception on the situation and or what happened could be completely different. With that being said, I think a lot of my guys, that were in combat MOSs, we kind of need to give some of the other branches and other MOSs a break. We ride them pretty hard, and I understand, trust me, like, I get it. It's hard to sit there and listen to somebody talk about how they were at FOB whatever, and, they were scared for their life. It is difficult, but remember, whatever that person was thinking or feeling at that moment, that's not up to us for us to dictate whether that's truth or not. Everybody knows the guys and girls that are at the VA or at any place talking like that. We know what they're about. We know what they're there for. But likewise, don't mishandle somebody else because of those folks. Somebody might really be opening up to you about their trauma, and you could put a bad taste in their mouth about opening up to anybody else, depending on how you react to it. But also, do not let your trauma dictate what you do in life. I have a terrible problem with this. My hypervigilance from my trauma drives my bus, so to speak. It wears me down mentally and physically. And it's annoying. But, it's one of those things that I just live with, and I try to push through it and try not to let it, overwhelm me to the point to where it gets me, not functional. If you experience PTSD on a real level, everybody has that one thing or two or three things that get them pretty worked up, and it's from their trauma. It's where it's based. It's where it's located, where its origin is from. Another thing, guys and girls, don't be that person. And when I say don't be that person, we all know, like, that comic book strip or whatever, don't be that guy, or however it was put out there to the world at first. Don't be that guy or girl, or excuse me, don't be that veteran that is at the VA telling war stories, telling about how bad it was, how bad it is, or jumping from program to program. Guys that are really suffering, guys and girls, or veterans that are really suffering, see through that, and you're hindering them from getting the treatment that they deserve and need, just like that you deserve and need as well. Excuse me. So if you go in a program and you're talking about all the wrong things, example, talking about traumas and stuff like that, that's against the rules there in some facets. Likewise, if you're talking about percentages and money and all this and that, man, we see through that. You're twisting somebody's mind right there, and that could be a very bad trigger for them. It used to trigger me, and they're going to go into that therapist office gassed up instead of getting the treatment that they need and work on their trauma or, their PTS. They're going to be thinking about you and ripping your head off all day long. So don't be that guy. Don't bounce program to program. Don't always be looking for a percentage. Don't be telling war stories. Now, I'm not saying if you see a guy with the same unit patch that you were in on with a hat or a jacket or anything like that, you know, and you want to have a talk with him or her, that's fine, man. Y'all two share a bond that the rest of the people that are in there at that moment don't understand. And I know that sounds a little, you know, whatever, soft for a grunt to say, but it's true. It really is. It's true that that person's going to remember that other person forever. You know, they could change that whole person's day just by having that one thing in common and holding a small conversation with them. Some other stuff, guys. Oh, let me tell y'all a big one I've been wanting to hit on, but been scared, and hopefully the phone doesn't cut off. Secondary PTSD. If you don't know what that is and you have PTSD, you need to look that shit up immediately, especially if you have a family or a wife, or, you know, or live with anybody. You need to look up what secondary PTSD is, because it's a real thing and you can give it to somebody. And how unfair is that for you to give somebody else secondary, or to give somebody secondary PTSD because you wouldn't go and square yours away? That, I'm telling you, I've been close, man. Y'all do not do that. Do not do that. You owe it to yourself and to your family. They didn't have no part of it. They just love you. That's the only thing that they're guilty of, is loving you. You know, guys and girls that want to quit and give up, I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't freaking do it. Y'all, you can go to sleep and wake up and not feel the same way, the same level of overwhelmed as you did. Don't freaking do it. Sleep on it. Wake up. See if things are different. I'm telling you, do not make a decision that you cannot take back and that is eternal. Do not do it, because I promise you, whatever circumstance it is, there's a way for you to get some relief and figure out a way to tackle that problem without killing yourself. I promise. I promise. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I'm speaking from experience, from somebody that before they got on medicine and before they went to a program, that every problem that they had seemed so overwhelming that suicide was the first option. I'm dead serious, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off before it shuts off for me. It's been acting real funky. But I love you guys and girls, and I know we're closing down and getting to the end of this thing. But I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. And I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.